Hello, and in this particular video, we'll discuss about the objective question that is present in the below the video. So the poll. Okay, so that we'll discuss in this particular video. So the question is, which is not true of orthonormal basis. Okay, so that is the question is asked, and for this particular question, first of all we need to understand what is the orthonormal basis. Okay, so first we'll discuss what is orthonormal basis, and there are two condition needs to be satisfied. First one is normality, and second one is orthogonality. Okay, so in order to set of vector become a orthonormal basis, it needs to be satisfied two condition. One is normality and second one is orthogonality. Okay, so what is the normality condition? Okay, in normality condition we have vector u1, vector u2 up to vector ud are the unit vectors. Okay, so every vector in that set of vectors needs to be unit vector. Okay, that means we'll see over here. So for all, so first of all we see the normality condition. Okay, for all 1 less than is equal to, so there are d vectors, so we can start from 1 to d vector. 1 less than is equal to I, less than is equal to d. Okay, so it will start from 1 2 3 4 5 up to d. Okay, so there are d vector like u1 vector, then u2 vector up to ud. So d such vectors are there, and in order to satisfy the orthonormal basis condition, all these vectors u1 to ud needs to be unit vectors. Okay, so these vectors 1 to d, I is equal to I less than is equal 1 less than is equal to I, less than is equal to d, it needs to be so unit vector. So what is the unit vector condition? We have to satisfy unit vector condition means when we take the dot product of a vector itself, then we get the value as a 1. So ui dot product with ui will get the value as a 1. Okay, and second condition, orthogonality. So orthogonality, and in order to satisfy this condition, every pair of vectors needs to be orthogonal. Okay, so this condition we have to consider all for all cases 1, and here we have to consider every set of pairs. Okay, so that means when we do not consider the u1 with u1 itself, so we check for the u1 with u2 u3 up to ud. That means we check for the every pair of vectors. That means I naught is equal to j, I not equal to j less than is equal to d. So for every pair we consider, and orthogonal means the dot product between these two vectors ui dot product with uj dot product with uj, it is equal to 0. So whenever we take the dot product, we'll get the 0. And here first condition is u1 ui dot product with ui is equal to 1. That means unit vector, and this is orthogonal. Okay, so these two condition needs to be satisfied in order to become a orthonormal basis. Okay, so again we will see that what are the different options are there. Okay, so first option is question is which is not true of orthonormal basis, which is not true of orthonormal basis. So all of the vectors in a set are orthogonal to each other. Okay, and the norm of each vector is 1. Okay, so this is true. That means we have to condition all of the vectors in a set are orthogonal to each other. So that is the orthogonality condition, and the norm of each vector is 1. Okay, so this is the normality condition. That means it is true. Okay, we do not have this as a result. Then the standard basis is in R3 is E1 100, E2 010, and E3 001. Okay, is orthonormal. Okay, so here as a part of standard basis, we have seen we display only the element where 1 is present. Okay, and this is also whenever we consider standard basis, for E1 we display the first element, for E2 we display the second element, for E3 we display the third element. If suppose d dimension is there, for dth dimension ed is equal to, we display the dth element, and it is a orthonormal. That means it is also true. And third condition is a vector in the set cannot be scalar multiple of another vector in the set. Okay, so we check this condition. A vector in a set uh, cannot be a scalar multiple of another vector in a set. Okay, so in order to satisfy, as the vector set of vector need to satisfy the orthonormal basis condition, it has to satisfy two cases. One is normality and second one is orthogonality. If one of the condition is met, then it is not a orthonormal basis. So we'll check this third condition. Set so we'll take a vector. Okay, so we take a example of vector, like suppose we have vector a is equal to 2 comma 2, and b vector is -1 comma 1. Okay, so what is in order to satisfy the condition as a unit vector, we have to take the dot product with vector a itself. So vector a dot product of vector a. So we take the dot product is equal to 2 comma 2. That means so 2 comma 2 and 2 comma 2. So we take multiply first element with uh, in the second vector first element. So 2 into 2 4 plus 2 into 2 4. it is equal to 8. This is not a unit vector, so we have to consider this second case. So I am trying to get the unit vector example. So this will not be present in orthonormal basis because the vector should be unit vector, and here we are getting, when we get the dot product of the vector, we get 8 values. So this is not present in a orthonormal basis. Then we'll take the second example, b minus 1 comma 1. So b dot product b is equal to, so minus 1 comma 1, minus 1 into minus 1 plus 1 plus 1 into 1, 1 into 1 is 1, so it is 2. So this is also not a unit vector. Okay, so we have to take the condition where, one of the example where it is having a unit vector. Okay, so we'll take the standard basis example. These are the two example where the vector is not unit vector. So we take one more vector, which is c, and it is 1 0 0. We consider this as a standard basis 1 0 0, and we check whether it is unit vector or not. C dot c means dot product. So 1 c dot c means 1 0 0 dot product 1 0 0. So 1 into 1 1 plus 0 into 0 0 plus 0 into 0 0. It is equal to 1. Okay, that means it is a unit vector. So this third vector is unit vector. And what is the condition, what is the option given over here? A vector in a set cannot be scalar multiple of another vector in a set. So we'll take the scalar multiple of this unit vector. So scalar multiple, if we multiply this vector with 2, then let's say d vector, d is a vector which is 2 into c. In the video you have seen, we can multiply by the vector with scalar quantity and it becomes, so 2, so it multiply with each element in the c vector. Okay, then we'll get the value as a 2. 2 into 1 is a 2, and 0 into 2 is 0, 0 into 2 is 0. So this is the vector. Then check whether this d vector is unit vector or not. Okay, d vector, so d, take the dot product. In order to check unit vector condition, we have to take dot product with itself, the vector itself, and check that whether this is giving us 1 or not. Okay, so 2 0 0 dot product 2 0 0. I'll just write over here 2 0 0. Okay, so 2 dot 2 as a 4 plus 0 dot 0 0 plus 0 dot 0 0. It is equal to 4. Okay, so the d vector is not unit vector. Okay, so the d vector is not unit vector. And what are the condition for become a orthonormal basis? Normality is first condition and orthogonality is second condition. So first condition is not satisfied by using that statement. Okay, a vector in a set cannot be a scalar multiple of another vector in the set. Okay, so vector in a set cannot be a scalar multiple of. So whenever we take this vector and we take the scalar multiple of this C, so this should not be present. D should not be present in a given set. Okay, that means it is a true. Okay. So this third statement is also true. First statement is true, second statement is true, third statement is also true, and let's check last statement. An orthonormal basis can contain infinitely many vectors for any vector space. Okay, so orthonormal basis, here itself we can prove that this C is present but D is not present. Okay, so we can say here that there in an orthonormal basis cannot contain infinitely many vectors, because C vector is present as a in an orthonormal basis, but D is not in orthonormal basis. So we can say that fourth option is correct for this particular pole, okay, which is not true of an orthonormal basis. Okay, thank you.